Today's video is about Pro Cycling Manager, but it's a very different video. In this video, I want to show you the easiest way to play one-off races on PCM 26 and previous editions with real-life start lists. For example, the Dauphiné 2026. Right now, the default way to do so is to click in the menu on modding, then start list on the right top, then select your race on the left top right here and start selecting riders per team based on the real-life start list. So it's a lot of work. And well, I decided to do something about that because I've spent the last few weeks building a piece of software that basically auto-generates a Pro Cycling Manager start list based on the real-life start list. And by the way, it doesn't just work for single player, but also multiplayer. Anyway, my start list generator is of course free to download through the link in the description, and you can find this page through that link, which basically shows you an explanation on how to use the app in the first place. And then at the bottom, we've got a download link. So you can download the zip file right here. There we go. And of course, because it's a zip file, you gotta right click that folder and then click extract all and click extract once again to make sure it becomes a normal folder. Now, after extracting that zip file, you get this folder right here, which you can open to find the exe file to launch the actual app. When you actually open that file, you might get this warning, which basically tells you it's an unrecognized exe file, but just click on more info and then on run anyway, because I can assure you it's a safe file. Anyway, this is what the app looks like. We've got a database editor, but also a start list generator, and that's the one I want to talk about today. In the start list generator, there are two tabs, one for single player and one for multiplayer, but let's start off with single player. Now by default, it makes a start list for the default database of the game, but on the right you can also select a CDB file, which is basically the database file of a workshop database, for example. In case you don't know, you can find your Steam Workshop databases under program files, Steam, Steam Apps, Workshop, Content, and then this number for PCM 25. Anyway, for the sakes of this video, I'll try and make a start list for the default database, and the next step is actually getting a start list URL from Pro Cycling Stats. For example, this is the start list page on PCS for the Dauphiné 2026, and the next step is copying that URL at the top of the page. There we go. And I will paste that link in this box right here, and as you can see, it auto-selects the race below, which is important because that defines the actual name of the start list file. And now when I click the button Generate Start List, it fetches that start list and makes a XML file named top_Dauphiné. But of course, we have to save it in the correct space. So at the top, I will go to %appdata%, there we go, and then scroll down towards PCM, let's say 2026, then go towards Cloud, Start Lists, and this is the spot where we save. Let me click the save button, and now it generates that XML start list. So yeah, if I now open Pro Cycling Manager 26, we've got a button on the right bottom of the Dauphiné now to load a start list, so that works. And as you can see, every single team has the correct riders from the real race, so that is perfect. But okay, that's how you auto-generate a start list through my app for single player, but how does it work for multiplayer? Because well, in PCM multiplayer, it's impossible to use a start list file. To explain simply how the app does it, it takes the original database that you select in the app and it takes away all the riders that are not in the actual start list from that database. And of course, because the riders on the start list are the only riders left in the database, you can play with a real start list. And it's not that complicated to do in the app either, because you basically go to the multiplayer tab, then to the right to load CDB. That opens a window to select your database, but before I select this Steam Workshop database right here, I'm going to copy and paste it because I want a backup file just in case. After that, I select the official release CDB and I open it on the right bottom. There we go. It's now loading it behind the scenes of the app. And once again, just like single player, I go back to PCS to get the actual link of the start lists. And I paste that link in the app once again. Next up, below that, I go towards Save As on the right, and that will open another selection screen, and I will save it in the exact same spot as official release CDB. There we go, save, and overwrite. That's perfect. And lastly, I of course have to click the generate button, and now it's doing that, but it does warn you to take a backup of your CDB file just in case something goes wrong, but we click OK, and there we go. It's basically doing it. I will now start a tournament on PCM 25 with that exact database. There we go, customized game, and I will select the WorldDB 2026, which I've adapted now. Importantly, on the game creation screen of this multiplayer lobby, you will have to select the correct teams, of course. Anyway, once the lobby is created, I go to select team on the right top, and as you can see, UnoX has a correct start list for this Dauphiné 2026. That's basically how my single player and multiplayer start list generator for PCM 26, 25, and other versions of the game works. Lastly, if there's any simple modding tutorials you want to see for PCM 26, then drop them in the comment section below and I'll see if I've got time. But as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.